pardon the voice. I lost it last night. It's going to be tough. As you get older, you get more emotional. I said it last week to Maddie and Malcolm. As my dad got older, and he used to always get emotional, and I'd be like, man, you need to get a hold of yourself, dude. And I know why now. Just, first of all, the last 2 days are not indicative of who we are. We did not play good. I'm taking nothing away from Kansas State and SEMO. They are phenomenal baseball teams. They're well coached. They're really good. I mean, everybody is. We did not play good. Be quite honest, and we don't make excuses, but we're out of gas. The last 3 weeks have been tough on us. We won a regular season championship. We had a tough trip. We had to play a doubleheader. We had to win all those games. We had to sweep the last 2 weekends to win the regular season. We did that, and we get in our tournament, and unfortunately we had weather, and we got in the loser's bracket, and we played 5 games in 72 hours, and those guys left it on the field. We ended up running out of gas on Sunday, and I think we did here too. Look, I hate we didn't play better. Again, like we just told the guys, that these last 2 days are not who we are, and they got so much to be proud of, man. Historic season, 45 wins and second most in school history, and this guy here, player of the year, and AD's been with me forever. He was in the old stadium. These guys mean a lot to me. I love them like my own kids. And I'm extremely proud of them. Ran out of gas, man. And this time of year, you can't do that. You got to be full speed. And I just want everybody out there to know how proud I am of this team and how proud I am to be the head baseball coach at Louisiana Tech. One of my highest honors in my entire life. It's going to be tough. But we can move on from there. Take some questions.
Take questions for Ethan and Darius. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Ethan, I know this weekend obviously didn't go like you guys wanted, but how would you sum up your 2 seasons at Tech?
They were amazing. I loved every minute of it, and I just like to thank the coaches and for welcoming me with open arms and let me go there and just flourish and be the best player that I can be. And there's nothing. I mean, I've got no regrets. There's no setbacks. I loved every minute of it.
And then maybe for both guys, maybe you can take it first. And then Darius, your coach talked about running out of gas. I mean, you guys, I don't know how long you were out here yesterday, maybe 8 hours or something, and get back to the hotel late. Obviously, got to get out here early, finish off a tough game, then turn around, play essentially a doubleheader against a team that hadn't played since yesterday. Just how big a challenge was that, maybe Ethan and then Darius?
I mean, it's tough on you mentally to start off. Whenever you get a delay before the game, kind of sets your starters back, and then you've got to warm up again and do all that, and you're out there for a long time, and that's going to affect you physically. And really, it was just a really long day, and it just got to us, I guess.
I just feel like at this time of the year, I feel like the days kind of running together as much baseball we've been playing these last couple weeks. I mean, it's a challenge, but it wasn't nothing that we wasn't up to. Like, we came out here ready to play. We came out here thinking we were going to come back and win game 1, play later on. We didn't come out here expecting to lose at all. But, I mean, yeah, it was tough getting up early in the morning, getting here, hitting BP and all that, but it's just part of it.
AD, when you think about your career here, obviously Coach Burroughs, when you guys practiced on a high school field, you lost your stadium. I would just talk about, I guess, just the journey you've personally been on, and I guess just reflect on what this program has meant to you.
This program's turned me from a boy to a man, to say the least. I came in, I was young, and I've matured as a person and as a player in my 6 years here at Louisiana Tech. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I could ask for. And I got an education, so.
It's just for both of y'all. Just talk a little bit about what Coach Burroughs means to you guys personally.
Everything, man. Burroughs been with me ever since first day I stepped on campus. He didn't want me to go anywhere. I didn't want to go anywhere. I mean, he could have easily, the player that I was out of high school, whenever I got here, he could have easily took my money after that freshman year. Wasn't really producing, didn't really do much the year after, but he didn't pull my scholarship or anything like that. He believed in me, and I can't thank him enough for that. I got a big place in my heart for Louisiana Tech and Coach Burroughs.
Really, for both of you guys, I guess can you just talk about, were you going to add to that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Obviously, I mean, Coach, he's got a special place in my heart. I mean, he took a shot on me 2 years ago, and I'm forever grateful of that. I mean, I'd go run through that wall for that guy right there. I mean, they took me in whenever I was at my lowest, and they helped me excel, and that means the world to me.
Now, really, for both of you guys, just talking about, looking back at your time at Louisiana Tech, how do you guys both kind of hope that you guys have kind of, helped the program grow and just kind of, where you want it to go from here?
I feel like just showed them how to put your head down and work. I mean, the young guys that are coming up behind us, they're really talented, and they have really good work ethic. So I don't think that the Louisiana Tech baseball program is going anywhere. Like, we had a down year last year, but these guys coming up are much better than most of the players that we have now that are older. These young freshmen that we got this year, they're going to be really good. They're going to make a lot of noise here in the next couple years.
Coach, I don't think I've ever seen emotional.
We're going to finish up questions for the kids first. So if you got questions for the athletes? Okay. Any more questions for the student athletes? Fellas, congrats on a hell of a year.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Chris, now you can go.
Coach, I don't think I've ever seen this emotional after a loss. What were some of the things you said in that final huddle right there? And my second question, what's one thing about this season, about these group of kids, that's always going to stick out to you?
Well, the main message was you have nothing to be ashamed of. You had a historic year, and we picked a bad weekend to not play good. And I hate to keep saying that because it makes me feel like I'm taking away from the teams we played, and they're really good. Kansas State had a great plan against us. They executed it, and SEMO, Andy does a phenomenal job. There's so many intertwining parts in this regional. Dave Van Horn gave me my first Division I assistant job at Northwestern State. Andy Sawyers came in a couple of years later and was our volunteer. I worked a year at Kansas State. Coach Gaspard worked a year at Kansas State. There were 3 former Northwestern State head coaches in this thing, me and Mitch and Coach Van Horn, and it goes on and on. It was good to reconnect with some old friends, and I'm not even sure what you asked me, Chris. Say that again. What was the question?
The second question, what's one thing about these group of kids that's always going to stick out?
Well, look, we've talked about it at length the last 2 weeks, this senior class, what they've done. I mean, they've reinvented our program. Louisiana Tech didn't go to a regional from 1987 to 2016. That's 30 years. And these dudes have been to a regional 3 out of the last 4, and they've won 3 out of the last 4 Conference USA championships. And, wish we could have represented our league better. Wish we could have played better. Appreciate our fans coming up. But these things happen, man. At the end of the day, last night I asked everybody but coaches and players get off the bus, and I went at them. And 'cause I just didn't feel like we were being us. They came out and they played hard. We just ran out of gas. If you watched us play the last 3 weeks, man, it was tough. Those dudes out on the mound had to pitch a lot in our conference tournament, and there's only so many bullets in those arms, and they just kept going. It's who we are. We talk about being waves crashing on the shore. Don't stop. No matter the score, no matter the situation, you just keep coming. And the score ain't going to look like it, but our guys kept going. They didn't stop. And, they set a standard that, George Corona, who I think is the best catcher in the country, he's been our starter since he stepped on campus. And the dude has been catching for 3 weeks with a infection in his finger. His finger looks like this bottle. and he just couldn't go today. He left it all out there. And he's one of the best players I've ever coached. He's the standard at the catching position at our program forever. And, you know, it just I just couldn't be more proud of them. They left it out there. You know, I get it. People are going to be upset with the scores. We kind of got it handed to us. I mean, we did. We got dismantled twice today, and that's not fun. But those guys kept coming, and you know, our barrels were dragging. You could see it. I mean, our bats were slow. The arms weren't turning, and it's just because of the last 3 weeks. I mean, the guys that cover us that are in this room, they know. I mean, we're not making excuses, but it was a lot of baseball in a short amount of time. And when you get in a regional, there's only 64 teams still playing, and you come up here somewhere like this, and you know, K-State is they should have got in last year. They didn't. They got a chip on their shoulder, and I couldn't have been more impressed with their team. You know, they had a game plan, and they know who they are, and they took it to us. And you know, sometimes you got to tip your cap to them, and SEMO as well. I mean, I just, you know, they're kind of like us. They're just an old dirtbag mid-major, and they played extremely well. And again, our guys just we were on fumes, but you know, again, we have a lot to be proud of. In these last 2 days, told them in 20 minutes from now, these last 2 days, you'll forget about it. You got to hang on to what you did. First regular season conference championship since 1987 without sharing it. We won the West in 21. We won the tournament in 22, but first regular season without sharing it. And, you know, look, we're not going away. You heard AD say it. We have a really good group of – we'll look different, but we have a great group of freshmen that probably could have played all year, and we redshirted every one of them. And in the age of the portal and when kids are free to go wherever they want, anytime they want, our guys don't leave. Our guys don't leave. They don't care about NIL money. They want to play for us. Ruston's a great town. Louisiana Tech's a great school, and we have a great culture. They don't leave. They stay, and I couldn't be more appreciative of that because you know, in this day and age, it's everybody's hopping around everywhere, and that really hadn't hit us. And I think it speaks volumes of our fans. And you know, we're fortunate. You know, somebody mentioned it that you know, just 5 years ago we were getting kicked off the field at a little league field. Little league teams kicking us off because they had practice, and these guys just kept coming. Man, they kept showing up and kept going to work, and they mean so much to me and my family. I said this last week. You talk about extensions and raises. It's because of these dudes. Hell, everybody can coach at this level. Ain't nobody out coaching anybody. Ain't nobody reinventing the wheel. There are great coaches all over this country. It's these guys, and they're the reason. And we've had a run of really good players. We've won some really big games, and I felt good coming into the tournament. I really did. You know, Arkansas was going to be a handful, and I really did. And it just you could tell from the get-go. I thought right out of the gate last night, I thought for the first time in a long time we looked really, really tight. And I hadn't seen that from our team all year. We're old, and I just hadn't seen that from our team. And K-State took advantage of it. And I felt good coming into today. I thought we were going to win the game. I really did, and it got away from us. And you got to turn around, and you know, it just didn't go our way. But again, I'm very proud of them. I can't say that enough. How proud I am to be their coach and be a part of their lives, and then be a part of my life.
Lane, the SEMO starter, Strange, that was his longest stint of the year, 99 pitches, 6 2/3. Yeah, what do you think of his performance?
I just thought he's a very gutsy young man. You can tell he's ultra competitive. You know, like you said, his numbers aren't great, but you know, his team's facing elimination, and he did what he's supposed to do. He did what tough kids do. You can tell he's tough. And, you know, he made pitches when he had to, and they got the big lead. They got the grand slam, so they were able to extend it. I was very impressed with him, the way he kept sticking the ball in the strike zone with multiple pitches and just competing. You know, you're going to see Hagan's going to pitch tonight, and that dude's the best in the country. and he competes his tail off too. He's ultra competitive. But then you see kids like that. I love seeing kids that may not have the greatest stuff, but when their back's against the wall, we always say when you're backed into a corner, you got two choices in life, man. You come out swinging or you quit. And that young man came out swinging today. You got to tip your cap to him. And I thought our guys came out swinging too. It just wasn't enough. And again, I played two really good teams, but I felt like we were on fumes from the get-go, and it caught up with us.
And I know you talked a lot about Ethan the other day, but now that it's over for him, just what would you say about his time with you, and what do you think about his future as a professional player, hitter, pitcher?
Yeah, I said, Matt and the guys know this. About 2 weeks ago, I was laying in bed, and at 1:30 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. And I just grabbed my phone, and I listed all our seniors' name. And I just said one word, just one word, the first word that comes to your mind when you – and Ethan Bates, it was dog. Dude's a dog. I mean, he's not the most talented kid in the world, but 16 homers last year, 10 saves on a very mediocre team. And then this year, 17 saves, 15 homers. I mean, it's something that we've never seen in our program. And it's only the third conference player of the year we've ever had in the history of our program. And we rode him extremely hard this year, him and Broderson. Not many people can say at any level they have two guys like that. You didn't see it today, but those guys have been electric. Ethan's an ultra competitive kid. He's an awesome young man. He's a great student. Those things matter. And we you know, when you're recruiting at a high level and your program's trending this way, we have a saying: you get who you are. And Ethan is who we are. It may not look intimidating. He walks in the room, and you may not know that guy was player of the year, but when he steps between them lines, he wants the moment, man. I've never seen a young man that when the game's on the line, give me the baseball, and I want to be at the plate. He has that rare combination of being really good at the game and ultra competitive, and he always seems to come through in the clutch. And as far as professionally, you know, my personal opinion, I think the dude can hit in professional baseball. Just have to find him a position, but I think probably pitching. You didn't see it today. He's worn down, but when the game's on the line, the velocity's up and the stuff's a little more electric. And I just sure hope somebody gives him an opportunity because he deserves it.
Lane, you alluded to it in this day and age of college athletics where it's becoming so transactional and almost depersonalized at times with the portal and the collectives and NIL and all that. Just talk a little bit about the importance in the locker room, the relationships you obviously have with those guys, and how you've been able to keep those guys at Tech. Yeah,
I mean, I think culture is such a buzzword. Everybody uses it, but it's important. I'm a huge chemistry guy. I want our guys to like each other. I want them to love each other. I know a lot of coaches don't put a lot of stock in that. They don't care if their players like each other and all that. I do. I always said if I become a head coach, I was an assistant for 18 years. I said I want our players and I want our coaches to pull up to the facility and want to get in there. I've been in programs as an assistant. You pull up and you don't really want to go in. It's not that fun. And our guys are at the facility all the time. And I just think we've created we run a player-driven program. We tell every recruit that. They have a voice. You know, it's not one of this our way or the highway type deals. Our guys have a voice. My door is open. That's another thing everybody always says, my door is open. My door is always open. Those guys come in there all the time. And I let them have a voice. What we need to do, Coach, you need to push harder. Coach, you need to pull back on us. And I take stock in that. And I think that helps keep our team together because they know they have a voice and they know they're a part of it. And I think that matters to them.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously, you know, you don't feel like you guys are going anywhere. You've won some titles in recent years. What do you feel are maybe, I guess, the next kind of steps for you guys as a program and team as you guys kind of grow as you go?
Yeah, I mean, the next step is you want to get into super regional. You know, I've coached in one super regional when I was an assistant at Mississippi State down at Florida, and we were 7 outs from Omaha. And, you know, it's once you get to that point, it's a 3-game set. And anybody can beat anybody in a weekend series. And yeah, we've been to the regionals now, and we talked about that. You had to crawl before you walk, and walk before you run. And we need to get through. We need to get through, and we will. You know, I said it at my press conference 8 years ago. We say things at the press conferences, try to get people fired up, and you probably overstep your boundaries. But I said we will host a regional, and we did. We did in 21, and we're going to get to Omaha. I firmly believe that. I'm a little crazy, and they all know that, but I firmly believe that we're going to get this program there. I don't know how, but we're going to keep working. And you know, kids, they like our place, man. It's you know, I'm not saying we won't have kids jump in and go to bigger schools, so-called bigger schools, but I'm just telling you, our guys, it's a chip on the shoulder, blue collar, and I never hear our guys talk about NIL and all that stuff. They just don't care. They just want to play baseball, and there's still those kids out there. There's still those kids out there that just want to play ball, and they just want an opportunity. And those kids are fun to coach. But yeah, we need to get to a super. And once you get there, man, anything can happen. You guys know that in this room. Y'all have seen it over and over. It's anybody's ball game when you get to that weekend.
Coach, congrats on a great year.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.